everyone, this is Rachel with Dollhouse Miniatures, and today in this video I'm going to show you how to make this 1/12 scale Hutch. This is going to be a little coffee bar that we are going to create. This kit came in the Dollhouse Miniatures subscription box for May. However, you can get this kit at micdropminiatures.com. For this kit, you are going to need glue. I'm just using my favorite glue bottle, and in it is Weld Bond glue. Then you're also going to need something to get your pieces square. I like to use Legos and an X-Acto knife. And then I'll also teach you how to make working doors. So this is optional, otherwise you can keep them closed. But if you want to make working doors, you're going to need some pins and then a small micro drill or drill bit, and then a little hammer. Okay, so let's get started by getting all of our pieces. Oh, and maybe some tape to hold the doors together while you are making it. Okay, so let's get our pieces out. In this kit came 3 pieces, and we are just gonna go ahead now and get them all out. If your pieces, there's these little tabs holding your pieces together, you can take an X-Acto knife and just pop them, and then your pieces will fall right out. So go ahead and do that for all your pieces. Okay, so now I have all my pieces popped out. Let's go ahead and put in our shelf. This is going to hold our shelf in place. So I'm going to take a little bit of glue, and I'm just going to glue these pieces into place. This is important that you get them straight, otherwise you will have a crooked shelf. So I did give you guidelines to know exactly where to place these little shelf supports. Okay, so once your pieces are in place, you can set those aside to dry. All right, let's move on now to, this is the back. We are going to add our sides on and our back, so, or the bottom, I'm sorry. So we're going to slide this in here and glue into place. So I'm going to put glue along the edge here and here, and then glue along this front. And I'm going to slide it into place. And using my Legos, this is where I can make sure that it is square. Okay, and then you can go ahead and add your side. So it's going to go like this. So I'm going to need glue all along this back. And then along this side piece. Okay, and then glue that into place. This, you want to make sure that it is flush here on the sides and also on the bottom. And then you're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Okay, so I can go ahead and let that dry. And then moving on, we are going to work on this piece right here, the top. So these are the sides. So we're going to need glue all along in here and in here. All right, so let's go ahead and insert our pieces. I'm also going to put some glue on the bottom of these. Drop that into place. Okay, now we're going to take this little accent piece with the flat on the bottom and stick it in between the two boards. So it's going to look like this in the back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just let that set for a little bit. Again, making sure that that is flush with the back. Next, we're going to add, this is the top. So right here, we're going to add that piece on and then also add the little trim to the back. I do want to mention, if you have, so when we cut these little scores, these little tabs out of our die line, you can take a little piece of sandpaper and just sand those pieces flat if you have any little pieces still sticking out. Okay, now when I have my top all glued together, I'm going to let that dry. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and glue in the shelf once your shelf supports are dry. If you're finding that your shelf doesn't want to go in quite so easily, you can just sand down a little bit of the side and fit it into place. Okay, so now the only last step is the doors. So you're more than welcome to just leave it like this and place it on and not have working doors. Okay, so you could just glue it right on. Another option, if you wanted to give it a more finished look, you could put a little bit of like plexiglass in the back to make it look like glass. That would be fun. And so you're going to glue this into place. And then you're going to put your decorative piece right here on the bottom, okay? And then you would glue on your top. And just to mention, it does have a little bit of an overhang right here, so the top's going to overlap a little bit. But I'm going to show you how to make working doors, because there's nothing more fun than working doors in miniature, right? So I'm going to pop out these doors. Okay, now to get the doors so they work really nicely and open without hitting the sides of the frame, we are going to go ahead and sand the tops a little bit and then also the sides. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. All right, so now I have my doors sanded. Let's see how they're going to fit. So what you want to do is have a little bit of gap here. So when you open up the door, it's not going to hit on this side. So I think this will be good. Again, you just want, again, a little room on both of these sides. Again, I'm going to push them together in the middle, leaving a little bit of gap, the same amount of gap on both sides. So when you think that they are centered, I just like to hold them together with some tape. So I'm going to carefully put it down the middle and hold it together. Okay. Still look like it's pretty lined up. I have gaps evenly on both sides. Now I'm going to take my drill. So this is a 0.3 millimeter drill bit. You could probably get away with a 0.5 millimeter drill bit as well. very, very small. And then you are going to need pins. And these are just pins used for sewing or any type of craft project. I do have a link here if you would like to see what I purchased. Go ahead and click that and you'll see exactly the product I'm using. All right, so what you're gonna do is take your drill. So this I bought at Harbor Freight. You can even use a little hand drill. Otherwise, I like power tools when I can. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill a hole right on the top, about right here. You can line that up. You don't have to go that far down. I'm only gonna probably try to go about that far, but we wanted to get it between here, okay? So go ahead and do that now. Okay, so I went ahead and inserted my hole. Then I'm going to take a pin and I'm gonna push it down. And this is when a little hammer will come in handy if need be. Just pound it down. Again, you don't have to go too far down. And then I'm going to take, I forgot, you're also gonna need wire clippers. Clip that off as close to the wood as you can. And then pound the rest of it down. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that for all of the other 3 corners. Okay, so I have all 4 corners done. Now we can reveal our working doors. Voila! Aren't they cute? I don't know. There's just something so cool about functional miniatures, right? So I think I'm going to go ahead and add some plexiglass to the back of these. But I think for right now, we'll just continue and so we can get it finished. I am going to add glue to this frame on just the sides. And I'm going to put that into place. And then we'll also add some glue along this bottom piece. I do have a little bit of, there we go. And then when you put the door on, make sure that it's flush here on the top. And if you did it correctly, then your bottom piece should line up with it also. Okay, looks like it's good and square. Then I'm just gonna add this little decorative piece. So I just need glue here on the sides. And then we'll also add glue along the top here. Glue that in place. Perfect. Always making sure everything is square. So you should probably let this dry before you flip it up. But I'm a rule breaker. And then the last step is to take glue, put glue around these edges, and glue on your top. So the sides here, it'll be flush with the sides, and remember, it'll hang over the front, and it will be flush with the back. And voila, there's our, make sure it doesn't fall apart, our little coffee hutch. So I hope you love this tutorial. Make sure to always share your creations. I can't wait to see them. I can be found at Mic Drop Miniatures on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. So find me and tag me. All right, thanks guys.